Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today all I want to show you is the really pretty teal box that PCGS has now. This is limited edition, right? So now, but we have some coins to look at here and go through, and some of them are from customers, and some of them are not. Some of them may be available still on the website. We'll find out. If you don't know, you can check the show notes to find information on coins that may be available for sale from any given video that we do. I should mention that once in a while. This is an 1885 Carson City Morgan dollar, and this coin actually is amongst my favorite because they only made 226,000 of these guys, and what a low mintage for a coin. And they come pretty nice. I mean, they're the type of coin that a lot of them, it looks like were probably kept in mint bags because you do see a lot of them. The reverse is gorgeous. You've got these really nice pools of luster on either side of the eagle, just really looking great. The obverse has a lot of chatter on the cheek and in front of the coin, but still it's the type of coin that it's a good coin to get graded for my customer because, it's the type of thing that they just seem to go up in value. And right now we're at one of those points where everything is kind of going up in value on this stuff. Probably a $700 to $800 coin in this market on that MS63. A coin that a year ago was probably a $500 coin, and yet they've just gone up and up. I stand corrected. I think they made 228,000 of those, actually. Okay, well, let's not worry about mintages too much, shall we? Because next up we have this 1908 $10 Indian. And we'll take a closer look, and you guys can tell me whether or not this coin is uncirculated. And the difficulty always in learning to grade coins is getting a coin from that AU to UNC. Sometimes you got to get the light just right and see that there's a general haze over the coin. Because if you get the coin like at an angle like this and it's really bright, it looks really uncirculated all the time. So you kind of have to learn your angles a little bit to get it to turn and see if you can see where it has traces of contact and wear and breaks in the luster and all that good stuff. So an AU58 on this coin, I actually agree with the grade. It's hard to tell, but we see all that kind of white scuffiness across the overall surface. It almost looks like the plastic is scuffy. That's not the plastic. That is the surface of the coin that has all that little bit of scuffiness, and that is a real nice AU58, probably a $1,200 plus coin in this marketplace. All right, so next up I have an 1881 Morgan dollar, and I think we're going to see a theme here on some of these Morgans that I got sent in. A number of them are coins that I had picked up raw and from a dealer, and I just kind of liked them enough to say, hey, you know what, I might as well send it in and get it certified, see how we do, try to take all your personal bias out of it. So it's got a lot of little chatter marks on the front and contact marks, a little bit of some gentle toning on the rim, which is always kind of fun, I think. I like kind of that mixture of a little bit of toning. You can see a lot of little contact marks on there. So it's not going to be a gem coin. Compare that to the reverse of the 85 we just looked at. And you see the contact marks in there all around the eagle's wings on both sides. So nice coin overall. It came back in mid-state 63. Still, that's probably a $100 coin. Some of these Philadelphia mints are sneaky hard to get in nicer grade, partially because they come kind of flat and ugly. The luster's not as nice as on the San Francisco coins, but they also have a lot of contact. I just think that they must have had a rockier road back then than some of these other mints did. Maybe New Orleans was shipping everything by boat and it was so much smoother than going by train. All right, so no problem on that last coin, that 81. Now we're going to step into this 040, which is a really common date. And they come super flat struck and sometimes super lustrous and sometimes proof-like. This coin has look at that field. That's just nice, satin smooth. Not many contact marks anywhere on this coin on the reverse. We got to check the obverse for the money shot because that's where you get these coins to have a lot of contact marks. Now this does have some contact marks through the cheek and the field, but overall you can see the way that the light moves on that coin. There's very little in the way of contact marks on this coin. And this is where I lose some of you, because I'm going to say I really think this is a 65. I've had lots of coins come back 65. We're not this nice looking. And this coin just has a great look to it. And I may eventually crack that one out just for the heck of it, just for the show here. You know, it's probably a $100 coin, but really it's in this market, if it comes back 1 point higher, it's probably a $200 coin. Speaking of which, here's this 1879S. You can see how much stronger this coin is compared to that 84.0 as far as the strike goes. You see all the detail in the ear, and then also, you know, the detail on the eagle. Little bit of a proof-like quality to it. You see there's some contact marks there above the eagle's head. The field itself is pretty good. And then I think you got a little bit more chatter on this one than you did at the 040, and this one they called a 64 plus. They're different coins to compare because you've got, you know, a different look, because this one's flatter and doesn't have that proof-like quality. So it's really hard to judge sometimes. But I would say that the 79S to me actually has more contact points to it, more chatter to it than the 040 does. So on a technical grade, I actually think the 040 is a nicer coin all around. So it's interesting to just have the two next to each other and look, 64 plus and a 64. Neither of which did they feel obligated to give me a 65 on. No need for obligation. Now we're going to compare one more coin, and then we'll start to see a little bit of trend here. This 1880 Carson City, another low mintage. I don't have it in front of me because I'm a lazy bum. And so this coin is pretty interesting because you've got this kind of mark down the center of the eagle a little bit. And then when you see those lines across, you guys help me out. I always forget the term for those lines. Roller press lines. It's from when the planchet gets rolled out and they have lines on it, and then it gets struck, and those lines kind of are retained on the design elements. Sometimes they're retained on the field. So it's interesting because the field on this is gorgeous, and you've got that line down his chest, which I think is something that it's there physically. I think it's not like a hair. So it's the type of thing, it's hidden in the design, but you notice it when it's there. When you know it's there, you can see it really easily, even from a distance. You know, and it's the type of thing that they could have called a scratch or something. Then we're going to look at the obverse of this coin, and right away you see a lot more contact on the cheek here by the ear than on those other two coins. Those last two Morgans we looked at. A little bit more contact here on the back of the field, and this one they called it MS64 also, which, you know, I shouldn't complain about. You know, this is probably a $700 or $800 coin. I think it's accurately graded, actually. I think my concern on these coins is I still like the 040 best out of these three Morgans as far as the technical grade goes. And so I would still say this one should be called a 5. Give me a 4. Give me a, yeah, I don't know, 5. Just give me nothing but 5s, guys. What the heck? Is that too much to ask? Finally, this is kind of a fun coin. So this 2.5 Indian here, 1926. Mintages on a lot of these coins are pretty low, like you know, 446,000 I think is what I wrote down for this coin. I was looking it up earlier. I don't have all these numbers memorized, but one of the things to look for on these is just, you know, you got to see that really nice luster in the field, and until you see one that's a little bit nicer, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. But these guys come with all kinds of scratches and dings and nicks on them, in the fields especially, on the reverse. And then on the obverse of the coin also, we see lots and lots and lots of hits and nicks on these things in general when we're looking at them. And so to see one that has a combination of nice luster and a lack of contact marks, you know, we had to send that one in. Mint state 64. That's a really nice grade for this coin. And what's interesting about these guys is your population is actually really low compared to other coins. I mean, you've got the population in MS64 is only about 3,100 coins, and the coin trades in that $8 to $900 range. So really, for the scarcity of the coin, I mean, if this was a modern Silver Eagle, what would it trade at? Like $10,000. You know, it's really funny to look at the market and to understand populations and what things trade at. So in MS65, there's less than 1,000. There's about 828. And of course, this is all PCGS pop report. That doesn't take into account NGC, but still, you get the idea for the scarcity. And then MS66, there's 52 of them, but there's none in 67. So really hard to get these coins in gem grades. And I think relatively affordable to the population and compared to what other things trade at in the marketplace. Really, really a great example of the coin. All right, guys, leave your comments in the box. Let me know what you think. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.